Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing the breakdown tutorial of the Bad Habits Insomnia mix, which I released about a month ago. This is a beginner version of the James Hype original one, right here. So you can play this on any intro beginner DJ controller. I'm playing on the SB3, but you could use a DJ 400 just as easily. So all you'll need is the Bad Habits Acapella by Ed Sheeran and the Mike Candies and Jack Holiday Insomnia remix. I'll link them both down below so you can just download them off YouTube. But if you're going to play it live, you get the real versions because they'll sound a lot better. This mix is all about the setup, like most mixes. So as you can see on the top track, I've got the Bad Habits Acapella. So we'll just go through the hotkeys really quickly that sort of show me in the track where we need to play and where we need to play from. So the red one, this first one here, is simply just the start of the track to help bring us in when we're loading it in. Sounds like that. And then the important ones, we've got the yellow one here, which is at the first Bad Habits. So the breakdown, sounds like that. And then the blue marker just after that, about 3/4 of a bar later, that's sort of where I know I need to drop Insomnia. So it sounds like that. I've also got a pink marker down here, just after bar 38, which is sort of when he fades out and he does his singing, and there's a big pause of music. That is where you can cut Ed Sheeran out completely and you bring in the Insomnia drop, and it sort of goes off and everyone's raving, you know. And the green one here is just like a little bit that I put over that I can play over the track to give it some sort of character whilst the drop is playing. So that's just a little bit further down, sounds like this. Right, so on the other track, we have the Mike Candy Insomnia remix. This is obviously what you're going to be bringing in over the top and then dropping in, and that's what's going to carry the track through to the end of the mix. So, easy hotkeys on this one. The first hotkey is sort of the drop. It's the main drop that everyone knows from the original Insomnia track. It's on bar 45, and you put the hotkey right at the start. So you get that, you know where you are. And then literally just one beat later is what we're going to be hot cue playing to bring in because it's a little bit more subtle. So put a marker there as well. You can also set your cue point here as well if you prefer using the cue button, which I've started doing recently. Sounds quite good. And then we've got the orange one here, which is a marker that shows us where to jump. Because at the orange, we need to skip the 16 bars to the build-up. We need to jump over them to the blue so that it moves at the right time with the Bad Habits Acapella. So the orange one here, on bar 53, is where we're jumping from, so mark that. And then the blue one, bar 51, was that? No, bar 61, is where we're jumping to. So that means when we get to the orange, we press the blue one, it jumps over it, and we're in time ready for the drop. Obviously then it builds, and then here's where the drop, and then when it hits the drop, you fade out the Ed Sheeran acapella. Simple. So now we're behind the DJ decks, guys, so you can see what's going on. So first things first, sync your BPMs. Please sync your BPMs. Don't forget that. I've made that mistake. It's not fun. So when we're starting the track off, we're starting with the Ed Sheeran acapella on the red hot cue, or the first hot cue that we set.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no.
There we go. So that sort of brings us into the song. And as soon as we get to the second bar here, at bar 10, we're going to start bringing in the Insomnia track very slowly underneath. First things first with the Insomnia track though, keep the filter low. Keep the low pass filter low so you don't come in too heavy. And as the Ed Sheeran track is playing, we're bringing this up. So we're tapping along, and we're also bringing this from the 9 o'clock to the 12 o'clock position. It should be at the 12 o'clock position when you're ready to drop on the main part. As Ed Sheeran's playing, we're going to be tapping in the Insomnia track underneath, bringing it in slowly in a 4/4 beat, pretty standard. Tap your foot if you need to. I always tap my foot to keep myself in time. We'll just do a little bit here to demonstrate.
I can feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight,
so as you can see there, we were bringing it in slowly. This is the key one. As he says, and tonight, it's back kick off. So what you can do, you can stay in time on that 4/4, or if you're confident, double it up. So start playing this double time. So that to this. Gives it a little bit more energy, brings up the vibe a little bit. And then when we get to the key bit, which is Bad Habits here, he says Bad Habits, you've got to be ready to go. You hit the blue marker, just after the blue marker, about there, we're dropping the Insomnia track, filter completely open, there. So something like this. This is the bit you need to practice a lot, because it's the bit that matters at the end of the day.
my bad habits lead to late nights and conversation.
And what you can do is you can nudge it back in time if you need to. Vital part as well. You now got them in sync. They're in time. They're playing together. It sounds sick. Don't miss the jump that we set earlier, because if you miss the jump, Ed Sheeran will finish his singing, and the drop will still be like 8 bars away, and the crowd won't really understand what's going on, and it won't get the same vibe. So when we hit the orange here, we need to make sure that we jump to blue. It's easy, that simple. It's just playing, and that's it. You just jump, and if you jump correctly, it should stay in time with the Ed Sheeran vocals. And then we get to the final cue point here. He fades out. We're on the drop here, and we're ready to play. Let's just go in. It really is that simple. We just need to make sure we jump over that section. That's when you fade it out, and we're in the drop, and it's all going, and we're good. And then you can just do what you want from there. If you want to as well, you can do a little bit of a cappella play over the top. That you need to sort of figure out for your own taste and do it how you want to do it. So then we just go and play the full thing, as we're about to do now.
Every time you come around, you know I can't say no. Every time the sun goes down, I let you take control. I can feel the paradise before my world implodes. And tonight had something wonderful. My bad habits lead to late nights sitting alone. Conversations with a stranger I barely know. Swearing this will be the last, but it probably won't. I got nothing left to lose or use or do. My bad habits lead to white eyes staring into space, and I know I lose control of the things that I say. Yeah, I was looking for a way out, now I can't escape. Nothing happens after 2. It's true, it's true. My bad habits lead to you.
So that'll do it for the video, guys. Hopefully it was somewhat useful and you're able to play this in your next set. This is also, like I said, a beginner version. So there's so many ways you can improve this and make it sound bigger. If you've got an extra track, play the Ed Sheeran over a different track and sort of fade in, change it up, you know, use effects. Bit of reverb on the acapella always sounds nice. Take a bit of the bass out, make sure the Insomnia bass is on the top. But if you have any other questions, leave them down below, and as always, just keep practicing and eventually you'll get it. I still get it wrong, and I've played it quite a lot. So, yeah, just don't be annoyed if you don't get it first time, and I'll try and help anyone out that needs help. I'm going to start doing more of these breakdowns for other reels that I really like, that I've come up with. They're actually mine originally, so look out for those, and all the other content coming. More mixes coming every week, pretty much. Yeah, I'll see everyone soon.